There we go. Good enough. Oh boy. Need I do one more thing? Guess. Whoops. Give this a little bit for the people that are wanting to appear up here. Woohoo. If not, well, blah with you. Let's see, I wonder what I'm going to call the title of this specific channeling. I'm trying to think of a name. Why don't we call it... Yeah, I'll think of a name sometime. A little bit later. Probably something along the lines of Lilith channeling. And then, quote, "Why do you want me to make an atom out of you?" I like that title. We'll go with that one. And in case if you don't know the joke, yes, and it is a reference joke. Essentially, making an atom out of someone, usually primarily most of the time it's a male. But the way that the story goes, like with Lilith being the first woman alongside Adam, pretty much after when she told him, "Aw, no," and when Adam ran to Yahweh to get help because he couldn't get his way, Yahweh demanded her to be raped. She told him, "No," and ran off. Then her children got killed by the angels that were sent after her, got back into Eden, pretty much misdirected Lilith and Adam to eat the fruit, and then Lilith took Adam out, or assassinated him. So making an atom out of someone is essentially somebody who did something very disrespectful, very uncalled for towards you, and you get vengeance. Yeah, that's the meaning of that joke, by the way. Don't make me make an atom out of you. And yes, usually that can be used against someone that's like say if somebody is mentally, physically, emotionally abusing you. Oh, that's a shame. Looks like somebody wants to be the new Adam. Yeah, no, this is not directed at anybody named Adam. Just for clarity. Because knowing people, sometimes they think, "Oh, that's my name, you must be talking about me." Oh, Milkshake, I don't even know who you is. In fact, I didn't even know you existed. You just so happen to have the same name as the first man. Just so happened to. Planned. But nonetheless. Now, when it comes to not have me make an anime of you, most of the time, the things that actually really do. Okay, whatever. Stupid phone. Essentially, the idea goes along this lines. Sometimes, just because something traumatic and harsh and disturbing and probably crippling happened to you in your past, like if you've gone through a traumatic event and it was instilled in you, and if you really didn't like it. So why later on down the line you then take that same experience and then you pretty much make somebody else experience it by your own hand? For an example, if you were a child and if your father used to be physically, emotionally, mentally abusive towards you, okay, when you grow up and you have, say, a spouse figure or your own child, you then mimic that same thing. Now, why would you want to do that? And it being embedded is not an excuse. You're still able to make the choice to lift your hand and speak out of your mouth. If you're making the choice to mimic what traumatic BS that he did to you onto your child, you're just as, if not as guilty as allowing that to continue. And especially this to another thought. I really don't understand the point and really can't comprehend what is the main intention. And a serious question. What is the main intention of, I don't know. Why are you going to say you love someone, but you don't act like it? Essentially, you afflict cognitive dissonance. That's pretty much just like going up to somebody who you just can't stand, and you act like you love them. It's the same thing, it's just backwards. Or pretty much you're saying you love someone, and then you completely ignore them and abuse them. That doesn't sound like love to me. That kind of sounds like something that, Yahweh would do. Oh, did I pinch your nerve? Oh, well, it happens. And in reality, you don't need to be playing these little games of like, I'm gonna play this on her. I'm gonna make her think that I don't like her, but I do. Well, if you like someone, why are you gonna do something that's not authentic? Because if anything, inauthentic makes me go, oh, gross. No. You're made of plastic. No, I don't want plastic. Because, yeah, you're probably pretty much exist as long as I can, hon. So no, I don't want plastic. And why would I want a fake piece of plastic that smiles and it's lifeless? But still. And this goes for pretty much everybody. If you love someone and care about someone, it's really a simple thing to do. It's not complicated. It's not really that difficult to just show your appreciation to someone, love someone, make someone feel like they matter. It's not that hard to do, and also, it's not that hard to listen. If somebody's telling you how to fix something, but you just, for some reason, just not listen, and then you keep doing the things that agitate the other person, and then you're wondering, why are they getting mad at me? Well, they told you what to do to make them feel more secure. But you made the choice to not listen or even make an attempt to try their suggestion to help smooth things over. So now it makes them feel like, okay, well, this one doesn't listen. Just like Yahweh in the beginning. No, I don't want to be your queen. Please! I don't want to have, your white beard in my teeth. No, go away. Please! No. Please, woman! Don't you have a home to go to? Because I think they're looking for you. Stop looking at me with those eyes, dude. But nonetheless, I'm going to turn my diffuser on. Because nowadays, people actually use the concept of loving someone as a weapon or a means to control someone. And the kind of point blank, the kind of type of a individual that loves making things so simple to understand that if it doesn't come clean and like point blank, oh, okay, that makes perfect sense, and I see it clear without anything distorting it. Yeah, I'm going to try and make it as simplistic as I can. If you do love someone, you do. And it's not that hard to do it and to show them. And if you don't, you don't. So don't fake it, because little do you know, love and hate are two of the most potent feelings towards another person. 4 letters, the same amount of power. They have the same amount of letters and the same amount of power. 2 extremes, same amount of letters and power. And if you want to be technical, it's the number 4, meaning that it can stand, and it's stable, and it's stagnant. Love can be stagnant, devotion, and hate can be also stagnant. Somebody can forever love you, and someone can forever despise you. It's the same sort of fixed emotion, except one is more beneficial and the most pure, while the other is the more tamasic and destructive and poisonous. But when you just so happen to be faking either one, well, for one thing, more likely than not, the person you're trying to trick with it, they already know. And the thing that's worse, if somebody is pretty much making the choice to actually place their trust in you to do the right thing, and pretty much be given the opportunity for you to prove yourself and to do the right thing, and if there is love there, but you're not really showing it, if they're giving you that opportunity because they have that trust in you, and you know they're counting on you, but then you make the choice to not prove yourself that you can have their faith and all that, and if you know it, whatever happens because of the choice you made to not do the right thing, and then unknowing to you, they have faith that you'll do the right thing, and they'll keep this faith because they they see the best in you, regardless. But if you know this and still choose to do something that's going to harm them instead, no. No, 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 no. I hate to be point blank and blunt, but that's a special kind of stupid, huh? Don't do that. Because that's essentially like trying to be in like a new Jackass remake, but now it's regarding the emotions and feelings. And that's laughable. And the thing is, sometimes whoopsies happen. Whoopsies always happen. But there's a fine difference between making the same whoopsie and should have knowing the things to do to make sure that whoopsie don't happen again. But sometimes there are those that think, oh, they forgave me and not going to do anything bad against me. Well, maybe they're letting it slide because they're understanding. And they're actually giving you a chance to regain their trust. They're not allowing you just to pretty much do as you please and think that, oh, I can do that again without getting away with it. Well, no. Like I said, this is not trying to be in the new Jackass remake. And no, I don't mean to break it to you. There's not going to be a remake. So stop trying out for it. No, seriously, quit it. If anything, just be known as that individual is like, oh, wow, look at them. They think they're going to be getting noticed by, let's see here. I can't remember. I think his name's Bam or whatever. Congrats. You think that they're going to notice you, but nope. They don't even know you exist. So, yeah, stop with the stupid things. And stop with the fake emotions and the whatnot. Let's see. Perfect. A little bit too spicy, but sweet, and then it gets feisty at the end of the smell. And there's also another thing that's a little bit more, at least to me, a little bit more agitating. That's kind of still been going on that I think needs to kind of have it stop. Now, why in the heck? Why in the bloody heck? Why are you going to be saying, and actually I saw this somewhere, why the heck are you going to be saying that you mean the world, that pretty much somebody means the world to you, and you couldn't imagine your life without them? And then turn around 2 seconds later, message somebody else that you're going behind the first person's back with, saying that you kind of want person number one to get their caboose beaten by the person number two. That's not love. And individuals that do that, wow, I didn't know Adam wanted to reincarnate. True story, but still. Because, no seriousness, people really need to learn, because it's just like common sense. If you love someone, truly show it. If you don't, then don't toy with them. Because if you toy with them like that, oh, what a shame that's going to be later on down the road. Because I can guarantee more than likely than not, the same thing will come right around and tap you on the shoulder and then have you experience it just as bad, if not worse. And that's just how it is. As well. Even another bigger question. If you have something, I should put it this way. If you have someone who wants the best for you, and this person has given you so much effort and made you a priority, and your happiness a priority, why in the heck do you think it's a good idea to put them through suffering? Why do you think it's a good idea to traumatize them? Why do you think it's a good idea to make them out as something completely the polar opposite of what they are already? And why are you making them question themselves? Why are you making them question, I really love this person and I'm trying my very best. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I only want the best for them. But then you tell them something like, you're kind of like a psychopath, dude. Like, you're abusive. All you do is just argue. But prior to that, this individual has consistently said they want the best for you and they love and care about you. And they only want to see you happy and be able to be safe and loved. That doesn't sound like abuse. And if somebody thinks that's abuse, well, you got one of the batteries in, well, you got the batteries in backwards for that one. So you're gonna have to take those batteries out and flip them. Because it's just, it really doesn't make sense. Logically, why? Why bring down something that's supporting you and trying to uplift you? Or to make things worse, why discard or get rid of something that's been a lifeline for something that is pretty much just, might as well just jump off a cliff and go face first into the spikes below. It's the same thing, metaphorically. So then not do that. It's not a hard thing to do. To share and show your concern and love towards someone, it's not that difficult. And it's really not that hard to listen. Just remember that sometimes the only way you're going to be able to listen is to have the nose under your mouth. Under your nose. Wait, the hole under your nose. Blah. Oh, it's been a long day. Sometimes the only way to learn is to have this shut and have these open. And boo-hoo-hoo if you're not right all the time. In fact, it's better if you're not. Because if you're right all the time, then why are you here on this earth? There's no reason for you to be on this earth then if you already know everything. Which there is not a single person that does. So stop trying to think and playing off that you do. Because if anything, Don't you think, if you knew everything, you would kind of know how to have a happy, good life? But it's not really a good life for you. You know what to do, but you don't know how to do it. So technically, you don't know anything just for that alone. Oops. There went that one. But nonetheless. And I mean, she's pretty much just coming through. She comes in, then she comes out, and then she just pops back in, and then comes through, and then just stops. She comes in randomly because she's just that free spirited. So please don't make me have an atom be made out of you. You do not want to be an atom. Please don't. Another thought. I wonder whose grand idea was it to think, pretty much forcing yourself on a woman and then just start causing her physical pain or any pain for that matter. I wonder whose idea was that in the first place and who thought it was a good one. Because if you ask me, I think, what was his name? Was it, He Who Is Forever Alone? I think that was what his name was. Or He Who Thinks He Has Control, but he doesn't. He can't even control himself. Heck, he can't even, he can't even, use his own hand to take care of something that's below his waist. That's what happened with Adam. He had to have me do it for him. And he wondered why I said no. He wonders why. If you can't handle yourself, do you really think I'm going to help you with that? I really hope you said no. Because if you said yes, sorry, but if you can't use your own hands. Oh, I don't have, this one. Well, we'll just use this then. If you're not going to use your hands, just cut them off. You don't need them. And yes, sometimes she can get a little feisty. Not my fault they can't handle it. And for those that think, calling me, how do you say that? How do you say the word? Protestant? Cute, but I don't believe in that, sorry. Yeah, stop being jealous that, I'm socializing. And it's okay. It's okay to be jealous that might know how to connect with people. You don't. So don't think that you can, call me a mean name and think that it's gonna do anything. We all know where the jealousy's really at. And that's a true story. Usually, most of the time, when you criticize someone in that regard, it's because, well, they either are having more connections than you, or you just had to come up with an insult right off your tongue. So that was the first thing to come up with. And usually, when it's a woman denying a man, giving him a hand, and then he gets into a hissy fit when she says, "Really? My index finger's longer than that. Really, dude? No." And then he retaliates, insulting her. Aww. Boo-hoo. Use your own hand, hun. That's why you got them. Hopefully. Oh, you don't know how to do it? Well, that's even sadder. Mm-hmm. Hopefully soon, too. In the mail, I should be getting a ruby oxeye, or I prefer to call it a vampire eye. It's a red tiger's eye. And a star garnet any day now. Hopefully. I thought it'd be time for the blood moon, but oh well. Hmm. Hmm. If anything, as well, the only time really, per se, if you really need to harm someone, make sure it's in a situation where you either have no choice or you have to do it in order to get yourself out of a situation and then better yourself. Other than that, try your best to not just be, a twathead for no reason. 'Cause that's not very nice. That's like, here's an example. Oh no, somebody is like trying to really make me doubt myself by saying BS things to me. Telling me, despite, knowing this person for a long time, and both being romantically interested in each other. Let's see. I don't understand why it's supposed to be like a really close, intimate thing, but at the same time, it's very distant. And being told that I've done nothing but cause harm to them, and making me then doubt myself, but I know for a fact that I did X, Y, and Z, which benefited their life. Usually, when that happens, it's a kind of a good, if not suggested, just to kind of put in a way that's kind of point blank. For example, you're abusive. Well, the last time I checked, when you love somebody and you want the best for them, and you just try to make their life better, that's essentially like, say if you're patting them on the head and you're hugging them. That's not abuse. That's kind of showing concern and a sense of security and, what's that called? You're making it known that the other person matters to you. That's not abuse. But now say that you're telling them that they matter, and yet you scream and yell at them, and then you degrade them, and you tell them how much of a pain they are to deal with. When really, it's not them, it's you. Ooh. So don't tell them that they have a problem, yet it's stemming from you. And you're just pushing it onto them, and you're refusing to admit it. Don't get me wrong, there are those who try to fix and better themselves if they have a disorder or a condition. There are those that actually try, and they are aware of it, and they make an effort to better themselves and to help improve their life. But the ones that pretty much think that they're entitled to anything, well, I don't know how to break this to you. There's only one thing in life you're entitled to, like everybody else. You're entitled to die. Everyone is. Sometime, any second from now, any day from now, any moment from now, it can just, and everybody is gonna get it. Nobody is getting special treatment. Everybody is gonna go eventually. That is the only entitlement that everybody has. Really, that puts everybody on the same playing field. Everybody is promised to kick the bucket. Everyone. And so if that's the case, really nobody is better or higher than anybody else. Everybody is equal on that regard. But now, one more thing. Hey, hello, anime. The heck was that? And I'm sorry, I've been neglecting the chat. Well, good. Well, goodly, because usually when you pursue her, and you try, she notices. But if you don't try with her, she'll just, okay. But if she makes it known that, no, I don't want, nah. But if you still pursue her and you like give her offerings and give her your energy, she'll take it. But she, again, will remind you, you're gonna give me that? Okay, but don't expect anything back. And that might be like a one-way street, just so that way you're aware. Reflection of self, yep. Best way to meditate to Lilith, or actually, both of them. Okay. So the best way, well, that kind of depends on you. It really all depends on you because you have so many options you can go with. Option number one, you can just take something as simple as this and pretty much just gaze at it and then just be aware of the thoughts that pop in your head. Do you feel a sense of, I'm gonna make sure that I'm taking care of myself? Oh, I'm being told I have to do something? Really? Do I really have to do it? Or is it somebody else wanting me to do it for them? Are they pushing me to do something that's going to better them? Or are they pushing me to do something that's really going to benefit me? Are they intimidating me to do this thing? Are they threatening me to do it, otherwise, whatever comes after that? Because at first, I'm the one who actually decides what happens, not them. They can say all they want. You must do this. Or what? What are you going to do about it? Well, I'll do this. Oh, okay. No, not feeling it. You better or else what, honey? You're gonna just realize that, oh, I don't know what I'm gonna do next because I wasn't expecting, her to come back at me like that. I don't know what to do. Well, that's a shame. So since now you don't know what to do, yeah, I'm really not gonna do it. You can also use, per se, where did it go? Oh, there it is. You can, is this thing loaded? No, it's not. Right? Nope, it's not. What you can also use is pretty much, since I cannot light a incense stick, you can use an essential oil mixture, such as mixing together, just as an idea, myrrh. Come on, fluid, come out of the bottle. You can mix together scents such as jasmine, violet, cassia or cinnamon, preferably cinnamon for more of the bite. Lavender, but that one's a little bit too gentle. Clove, coriander, perfect. It's pretty much smells like a mysterious but feisty rose. That's just another idea. And what you can do is just have this go around in your space and pretty much have your focus point, which would be this. So, but then again, you have the scent on. And then pretty much just still gaze at the image. And then when you're actually inhaling the mist, but make sure if you're using a diffuser, especially if it's a portable one like this one got from Hobby Lobby of all the places, and yeah, just add water and your mix. There you go. Let it loose. Just make sure you don't, you make sure you use your head and not put it this close. Just something that, to a point where you'll actually be getting hit by the mist, but in a way that the mist will actually kind of, the mist will kind of mimic that like of incense. That way you can kind of see, if you focus hard enough and actually stare, you actually see the incense, the diffuser, the mist actually take form and shapes. And you don't have to hold this thing all the time. You can actually just simply just pop it down like that, and then I'll just do the same thing. And you can just stare just at the incense smoke. Other ideas for specific kinds you can use, again, since I cannot like these, we got Open Sesame. Dang it. Down below, one more. The Scooch Matouche. Bear in mind, this is definitely not the only kind you can use. Expand one. Okay. This one's Dragon's Blood. You can also use Black Cherry. Specifically, Black Cherry is more of the... If I ever had to pick, Black Cherry would be my primary #1 choice as of now, but there's another incense stick set of mine that I have somewhere. I think I just saw it. Ah, there it is. Come here, little twathead. Thank goodness I have tiny hands. You can go places where you cannot. These ones are. This one's called Black Orchid. Literally, just like how, like with COVID testing and how they take one of these things and just stick it up your nose all the way and it pokes your brain. Screw it. I would pretty much do that with these because that's how good they smell. That's another one. If you're wanting to do it incense-wise, but now if you want to take it up another notch, if you really want to get really fancy with it, you can use one of these. One of these lovely yet. Make sure you know what you're doing. No, I don't have a Ouija board. I do not have one. But that is another option if you deem fit. Another option is one of these. Scry mirror. Except, it's not going to have that white ring there. And pretty much, just like this. So, okay, let's see if I can kind of give a general idea of the effect. Okay, I'm going to probably disappear, so... Okay. Now... So pretty much, yeah. Really, now you just stare into the mirror. What's even more creepy is that you cannot see a thing except the reflection. And the reflection just so happens to be what my screen on my phone looks like. But if you have another look, you can see it being like an never-ending reflection of a screen on a screen on a screen. Yep. And you just stare into the blackness of the void, and then you might see something move. Or you might hear something like that. Oh, stick it. Wrong button. But nonetheless, pretty much you just relax your eyes and you just let your subconscious just let it come to the forefront. And not everybody's going to see the same thing. Not everybody's going to see the same thing. What you see may not be the same thing as I see. Because as I'm looking at this right now, the very best that I can, I only see the reflection of pretty much what's like on screen, my phone screen. But, hold on. But nonetheless. So, and after a while of just staring into this, you might actually start seeing things take form or come around you. But usually the idea is to have your scrying mirror like this. See? Shh! Quiet. And pretty much you would then just stare into it this way with having the light kind of like that. Because usually when you're staring into it, and you can also use a candle flame, you just stare and relax your eyes. And it's quite funny because the moment that I'm doing this, I actually see her. Let's see if I can adjust it just a little bit. You should see we can get that back on. If you notice to my see a little bit to this side, might be able to see right there. That is if, if she didn't move already. Is it perfectly still? You might be able to see a faint figure to my left, right there. Just give it some time. Well, that really depends on how you think you would want. Well, that depends on how you see her yourself, because ultimately, not everybody sees her in the same light. There are some people that see her as something vulgar, and see her as a, I don't even like saying this, sees her as a, a sexual object. Yuck. That's not, I don't like that. There are some that actually see her as something that's more, a little bit more classy. But as for me, this is how I see her. I'm kind of a little iffy about the word hairy. Unless if you're using a different definition with hairy. Kind of, if it's along the lines of like she's one that's like feisty and like, oh, you think, that's not cute, hon. You thought it was cute, but really you're just really inviting me to make you become an Adam. Don't do that. But yeah, this is how I like to view her. Okay, yeah, I was thinking hairy, like. I said, don't you have Hagrid come in here? She's a wizard. No, duh. Well, but not really a wizard though, but still. And funny enough, this is actually a Yu-Gi-Oh monster, if you happen to remember or know about it. Funny enough, yeah, this is the Yu-Gi-Oh monster Dark Elf. That's bugging me. Get that off. There we go. But yeah, Dark Elf, a Yu-Gi-Oh monster. Of all the ways that I could see her, in my opinion, this would be the most fitting. Because, well, for one, she's in the dark. Number two, if you notice like how her eyes are, they're slightly opened. Or are they closed? We don't know. We can't tell. Be either or maybe they're even open like to that much. We don't know. And like the way her mouth is, it's a very faint grin. And the way her hand posture is, it looks like she's kind of having a. It's like, when you chuckle and then you have and you have your hand be gestured right there. That could be like she's also finished chuckling at someone thinking that, well, for one, they thought they were being slick. Two, they were complimenting her or even giving her a gift of some kind that she likes. We don't know. And the way that her garb is, and where it goes there, and it just stops right there. It does also show the side of her that is a bit alluring, inviting, and captivating, but it's not suggestive. It's enough to pretty much have the mind go. It has my attention, but that also causes the mind to get going. Because real seduction, actually, it's not about, seeing how many straps you can wear without, getting arrested. No. It's actually woozy-wooing somebody's mind and their imagery in their mind to pretty much make them become so blinded by wanting to figure out something that they're easy to influence. Literally, you can just be existing next to them, and that pretty much makes them so prone to whatever you tell them to do that they'll do it. It just all comes down to the person just woozy wooing. Aw, funny. Rude. Very funny. Very funny. One of my bottles fell, but nah. That's another thing that's really amazing though. Because I had this bottle right over here. Just sitting and chilling and charging. And then right when I put the photo down, it decided just to go. Like, okay, that was cute. But, you know, you missed hitting something. Please try again next time. Actually, don't try it next time. Let's see what other questions we have over there. And another thing you can also do if you want to actually. Okay, brownies, where's the pen? There we go. Give me one of those. And a writing instrument, or I'll just use Adam's, you know, decapitated finger again. No. And again, like I've said before, it's not directed towards anyone named Adam, okay? It's just a joke, not a dim. It's just being satiric. Another thing you can do is actually do automatic writing as such. But now there's a fine difference between doing automatic writing and then just writing and trying to think you're actually having them right, but you're not really writing. And you're thinking you're being slick, but not really. So for an example, let me just wake this pen up. Okay, that thing is as dead as you know. I'd rather use black if I can find one, rather than light baby blue, but that's all I got. Oh well, oh wait, that'll work. So we'll do it this way. So pretty much I will just write how I normally do. That's how I normally write. And now I'll just see if... And when you do automatic writing, you have to get to center and then invite whichever entity. But with Lilith, it's a little bit... You have to go at it in a way that's making her actually choose to do what you're implying to have help with. Because if you actually say, Lilith, take control of my hand. Oh, wow. You're like being that Adam again. Don't do that. Instead, the better thing to do is kind of, in a way, pique her curiosity, or even, at best said, seduce her to actually take control of the hand. For example, Lilith, can you possibly show me the way that how to write your name? Because I want to make sure I write it right. Would you mind showing me? Now if you notice the one at the top right here, that's mine. And then that's how she came through the second time. The first time it was a little bit wonky. I mean, it wasn't fully in focus because background noise. But the second one, yeah, you can kind of see that there's a difference. So, as another example. Alright, I'll just write something else again. Like, well, I mean, there's a, yeah, that could be better. Right there I wrote, do as you please. And then here is Jason. Yeah, you can kind of see that there's a bit of a difference. Because when I write, I always tend to write in cursive. And whoever usually comes to with automatic writing, they pretty much just do as they please with my hand. Except, you know, sticking in a spot where it should not be on a live camera, because that's not recommended. That's another thing. That's another way. It's really the idea of connecting to her and being able to really just know how to go towards her. Because going towards her is, once you understand, it's actually, it can be actually sometimes, honestly, sometimes fun. Because you have to come up with an idea to get the intention that you're needing help with, or going towards her, asking her for help, but trying to say it in a way that actually makes her become intrigued with it, to actually make the choice to become more invested with it. Like, say, for an example, if you were going to be, you know, cursing a dimwit, going towards her with, so, Lilith, what if I was to tell you we can have another Adam be added to the list? Yeah, there's another one. Let me know. By the way, this one even comes in rainbow color. A rainbow Adam? Huh. I didn't know he comes in that flavor. Huh. Go figure. Yeah. And that was supposed to be like a... That was supposed to be a gay joke, by the way. And for those that are just like thinking, oh, you're making fun? No, I'm one too, so nice try. You're gonna make me feel all woe as woe over something that was intended just to be humorous. Pretty much that's what I got for that. Let's see, any other questions? Her favorite drink. Oh boy. You can use any of the following. Number 1, dark wines such as sangria, Merlot, Not the light wines and not the sweet wines. The more dark and the more dry, the better. But if you don't have anything alcoholic, you can definitely use cranberry juice. I would not use pomegranate because Lilith is not really one to settle down and stick with someone, because that's an effect of pomegranate. It's a devotion plant. I mean, if that's all you got, all right. But for best effect, wine, dark wines, or if you really want to really kick it up a notch, you can see if you can make her a Bloody Mary. That'd be a really creative idea. Or there's a wine. What's it called? What is that wine called? I think it's called the. What's it called? Raven something? Something along the lines of it's a wine that has a darker name to it. But keep in mind, if you can afford the high and more expensive stuff, expensive wines, than pretty much the cheap wines, if you can afford it, the more that you're willing to pay and give out energy with money, because that is a form of energy, the more you're willing to give up towards an entity, the more impressed they're going to be. But if you go and got what you got, I mean, the thought is all that counts. There's a whiskey that I have, I don't know where it went, that's called Serpent's Bite, and it's apple cider whiskey. Give her a small glass of that. In fact, that one probably will be very creative, because what you're doing is you're alluding to when she was the serpent and she actually misdirected Eve to get a piece of the fruit, hand it to Adam, have him take the first bite, and then, yeah, that's alluding to it. So that could be another good potential. Probably would, if possible, try to stay away from drinks that are bright. Like, pretty much by what I mean by bright, like, say, let's see, I'm trying to think of a woozy looking drink, like kinky is a fruity mixed drink. Nothing wrong with it. If that's all you got, is all you got. But now let's say if it's like, if they make like a, what's it called? I just had it, I lost it. Like purple hypnotique, that'd be a good one to give her, because purple is one of her colors. Believe it or not. Another, well, okay, if you insist. She just said, why not tell him about some candy? I love black licorice. Yep, she likes black licorice. And the thing with black licorice is you either love it or you hate it. I mean, that's just like with mostly all these humans. They either love it or they don't. It's okay. I'm the same way towards them too. Comes in. And if you're for saying, like for example, you want to decorate your room or your space, preferred decorations are, but not limited to, of course, anything that's related to owls, any kind of owl. Any nocturnal animal, especially like say Again, an owl. If you really want to be extra fancy, snakes, black widow spider. That's another one. Believe it or not, potentially it can also be thought that Lilith actually, one of her human carnates, was actually Queen Jezebel herself. Because in reality, even though that Jezebel did some things that were like, dang, that was cold, Queen does as she pleases. And in reality, that's something that has to be admitted. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to get that crown on your head. And sometimes the best thing to do is always put you first. Because how can anything else outside of you exist without you first? So if you can't stand, nothing else around you matters. When you can stand, good. Keep yourself standing first. Then you can, help other people stand on their head. When it comes to blood, though, you can do that, yeah. Although, at least what I would suggest is when, like, say for an example, if you were, like, if you cut yourself shaving, it happens. Guilty. Like with the bandage and stuff like that, you can take that bandage or paper towel or whatever, just rip the blood part off, get a glass of water, just plop that in there, plop it in front of her. Yep. So, like, say this was full of water, and I had like a small piece of bandage, just pure water, plop it in there, kind of thing. Well, if you want to think that you're making a mixed drink like that, go for it. But if not, just mix it around and then just plop it in front of her, and then there's your offering. That's another potential idea. What else does she want to share that she loves? Avoid pet peeves. The minute I finished saying that, she just came in saying, oh, there's so many. There's so many. If somebody's pushing you to do something and they can do it themselves, and you don't want to do it, don't do it. If anything, even ask them, why do you keep pushing me to do that? You've been trying to push me to do it for the past 10 minutes. You could have done it by now. The answer is no. You better do it or else. Or else what? You're gonna have your, mouth stop moving? Don't let people push you around. And try and push you to do something that you don't want to do and they really can do it themselves. Another one is you don't really need to be hitting anyone, especially a man or a woman. Oh, please don't do that. Because you'll end up kind of like what happened with Adam, except, yeah, except he kind of, stopped moving really old. Hey, it might be the new record of the youngest one to stop moving because of, being out of line. Don't do that. And same thing goes with children. Don't hit the children, please. Because that really saying, wow, it's like somebody really does not understand to have dignity to to something that can't really defend itself. That's petty. Oh, it's okay. Give it some time, and all of a sudden, surprise! Black screen, and then the words "Game Over" pop up. And no, you don't get the New Game Plus. Make sure you also put your most authentic and real self forward. And it don't matter what anybody else says. If somebody says, I don't like that. You what? You don't like it? What's your point? Oh, you're trying to tell me to not do that? Okay, I get you. Not a problem. So I'm going to do it again right in front of your face. Don't tell people what your weaknesses are. Please don't do that. Because essentially what you're doing is you're taking a kick me sign and you're taping it to your face. And pretty much everybody who reads it says, kick me, kick me, okay. And you get kicked. It's the same thing. Don't do that. If anything, don't even flinch at it. Something bothers you. Inwardly, you feel it and you don't like it. On the outward, though, don't even respond to it. Just, you done? Good. Oh, and also another thing, too. Don't try and exercise me because it won't work. Oh, no, by the way, I don't need exercise because, I mean, last time, if I remember correctly, I didn't eat from that tree, so I can't die. So, yeah, I kind of have this immortal look longer than all of you, so I don't need exercise. Flattered, though. And if you're calling out to me, make your own symbol or sigil to connect with me, please. I like things that are unique, different. And things like that actually make this whole occult magic and the witchcraft stuff that I just so adore. It actually makes it interesting. And I love seeing creativity. But if everybody uses the same thing, boring. Get fancy with it. I want things to be created that are unique and personal. Not something that's a cut, copy, paste over and over again. Because it's like, let me guess. You cut, copy, paste that. Except you made one little change. Okay, instead of it being black, it's red. Oh, and if you are going to be using the most well-known symbol for me, that ring thing, that seal, get it out of there. You don't need that. If anything, if you have that, get rid of it. Because don't think you can trap me in that. No. I mean that's with that guy with the, knotted white beard that, he hasn't washed in since, day one. He tried to do that and that didn't work. He got blue balled, by the way. Oops. I hope he wouldn't stay. He wouldn't stop saying, please be my queen. Wow. No. Please? Wow, no wonder you're so obsessed. You're the only other person or being here I understand that, you know, being all by yourself and then encountering something so beautiful that you really desire to have and you're never going to have. I understand your pain. But no. I'll do anything. Good. Jump off a cliff. I'm still alive. Crap. Just really stick up for you and just be your real self. And don't follow the trends. And by the way, I don't give you succubi. Why would I give you any of that? In fact, why don't you just make your own? Because I have other things to do than just hand you these beings. Why not make your own? You can make your own servitors or thought forms. You can make them your own and make them even as fancy as you want them. Don't rely on me to have to give you them because it's like, oh, no. Oh, and another thing too. Well, I'm thinking about it. Please don't wear anything that shows any kind of woman being abused, choked, tortured, degraded, mocked. No. And don't say that has anything to do with me. Because if that's the case, congrats. You're now plastic. Or essentially, fake. So don't do that. Oh, and as well, don't let some geezer tell you that you have to believe what he does or he's going to send you to suffer. No. Pretty much in this situation instead, you've already were suffering while listening to him. But now that he's away, you're no longer suffering. So enjoy your time now. And just stay far away from him. He has dementia, so I hope you understand. It's okay. But once you get up in those ages and all that, sometimes, you know, they get dementia and they don't know what they're saying and they see and they can't comprehend things right. Oh, what happens? Exactly. Hello, Kayla. Let's see. And if you are ever in a situation where you actually see a woman being put through any kind of unnecessary treatment, if you're able to, don't, because you should not endanger yourself, but if you're capable of it, go after the guy that's not really, you know, being how he should. Go at him and just, you know, just pop his grapes. With a knee, a foot, whatever you deem fit. Pop him and then laugh at him, saying like, oh, what happened? Well, you were big and mighty about it a few seconds ago, but you know, a heel right down the middle. Oh, what happened? Oh, they popped? Good. You don't need to have, you know, you don't need to have, you know, little ones of you moving around anyway. Oh, fuck, besides, while you're down there, can you shine the shoes, please? Stop holding your crotch in front of women. That's gross, dude. Clean the shoes now. Stop holding yourself. Do you want to have it again? Exactly. And it still amazes me that sometimes they still act like that. It's like, again, we're gonna go like this again? Okay. I'll just wait until they turn their back. Long gone. A few hours later, sound asleep, and a tap on their shoulder when they're asleep. Sleep paralysis, and they can't move. Then enter stage left. Hi, Adam. Shh. Even though your name's not Adam, it is now. You're a starter. Metaphorically, of course. All right. I'm going to take my leave now. I'm going to go and see if there's people behaving in certain parts of the world. But I bet you they're not. I bet you they're still being stupid. Sometimes all you can do is just look at them and just smile and shake your head. And just think to yourself, wow, how are you still living? With all the stupid choices you made. Wow. Don't know how you're doing it, but tragic slip. But anyway, tomorrow I'm gonna be starting those readings that I spoke about. And specifically, it's going to be going down like this. It's going to start with the oracles, the daemons, and the dark goddesses. It's going to be one pole as a spiritual theme. And then it's going to be a single general reading spread for all together. And then it's going to be a love spread. And then for both singles and if coupled. And then to top it all off at the very end, another love reading, except that one's going to be more focused towards same-gendered, like a same-gendered interest, or an interest that's LGBT. Okay, that's a lot of letters I'm trying to say. Or an interest that's LGBTQYA, I think that's it. I'm not entirely sure, but anything that's not 100% right down the middle straight. Yeah, that's it. Anything that's magical, like that. But nonetheless. And I've already got an idea of on how that's going to go. But tomorrow, hopefully, we'll have our first blood with it. So, really, that's all I got for this. And I will just see you guys tomorrow. Be good. And don't run into any atoms. If you do, just push them off a cliff.